This is Jarrod Horak. Welcome to my latest Road to the 2023 Kentucky Oaks video. Now in this series so far, I've covered 23 races. My top choices have 8 wins, 2 seconds, and 4 third place finishes. And I've given out multiple exactas and trifectas as well. Now if you're interested in my Triple Crown series, full cards this year, you can head on over to the runawayhorse.com. There's annual products always available on my sales page. Later this spring, you can check out those. I have some details on my page right now if you're interested. I'm going to be doing, in addition to those Triple Crown full cards, Kentucky Oaks Day stakes races, including extensive analysis of the Kentucky Oaks. So check out the runawayhorse.com on my sales page if you're interested in any of that. And now we're going to get into the analysis of this video, and I'm going to be doing the 11th race at Fairgrounds. And it'll be for Saturday, March 25th, 2023. And I'm going to be doing the Grade 2 $400,000 Fairgrounds Oaks for 3-year-old fillies traveling 1 mile and a 16th on the main track, and the scheduled post time is 6:08 p.m. Eastern Time. We have a short field in here, beginning with number 1, Southlawn. Now she's 8-1 morning line. This is a daughter of Pioneer of the Nile. She's run 6 times. She's won 2 races, but she hasn't finished second or third in any of her races. Now one of her wins was a race originally scheduled for the turf. It was run at 1 mile at Ellis Park last summer, and she was able to stalk the pace and then kick away and win by 6 lengths. Her only stakes try so far, the Grade 3 Pocahontas at Churchill Downs, she was 7th, beaten 13 lengths. They tried her in a couple turf routes. She didn't do anything. She was back on the main track in her last start on a good track at Fairgrounds against Optional Claiming Company. She stalked the pace and she won by 8 lengths. She earned a decent speed rating there, but none of her other races were that fast. And she did add Lasix last time for that optional claiming win, and she doesn't have Lasix in here. So she's stepping up in her second start after a layoff, after a career best effort, and she'll probably save ground stalking the pace. Christian Doro is the next one, and this is a daughter of Bolt Doro. And she's run 4 times with 2 wins and a second. In her career debut at Zia Park, she was second last year, and then she romped in her second dirt sprint at that same venue by more than 6 lengths. And then in the Borderplex Derby at Sunland, she ended up finishing first by a half length after dueling on the lead. And then last time she was beaten 4th, 17 lengths back that day in the Island Fashion Stakes. That was at 1 mile when she stretched out in distance. Now she moves to the Steve Esmison barn. Draw Rosario is going to get aboard. She'll probably impact the pace in here, but she's got to prove herself class-wise, and does she really want to go this far? The next one in line is Pretty Mischievous, and she's your 8-5 morning line favorite, and she certainly likes to win races. She's had 5 starts with 4 wins and a 3rd place finish. She's 2 for 2 at Fairgrounds, and she has struck twice at this distance. In her career debut at 6.5 furlongs at Churchill from post 12, she stalked, she won nicely. She came right back and won an optional claiming race at 7 furlongs in the slop at that same venue, second time out. In her 3rd start in the Goldenrod Stakes, Hoosier Philly beat her pretty easily, and she was ending up finishing 3rd that day after a wide trip. And that's the only time she's ever lost. Wasn't an awful effort, but Hoosier Philly was much the best that day. Pretty Mischievous defeated the Alys Look, a horse that she's going to meet in here in the Untappable Stakes. And in that race, that was on December 26th, she ended up stalking and pulling clear and winning by more than 3 lengths. Last time out, the Grade 2 Rachel Alexandra Stakes at Fairgrounds at 1 mile and a 16th, she stalked the pace again, and she was able to prevail by 3/4 of a length. Miracle was second, and it was more than 7 lengths back to the show finisher Hoosier Philly. That race was just a paceless event. It was a short field, no pace. Pretty Mischievous and Miracle dominated from start to finish, and Hoosier Philly, who's going to be in here as well, was a well-beaten 3rd. So now Pretty Mischievous probably going to sit another good stalking trip. She's a solid contender in here, obviously on paper. Number 4, the Alys Look. This one for trainer Brad Cox. This one's a daughter of Connect, and she's run 3 times at Fairgrounds with 2 wins and a second. Overall, she's run 5 times with 2 wins, a second, and a third. So she definitely likes Fairgrounds, and she has been improving for trainer Brad Cox. She was a well-beaten 3rd in her debut at 7 furlongs at Keeneland. Caught the slop second time out, didn't like the wet track. Mile and 70 yards at Fairgrounds. That was a maiden special weight event. Late last year, she romped by 7 lengths, controlling the pace. She had Lasix that day, and she took blinkers off. She lost Lasix in the Untappable Stakes, and Pretty Mischievous handled her, but she was more than 6 lengths clear of the show finisher. And then last time, the Silver Bullet Day Stakes, She was able to get a nice victory there. She tracked from second. She took the lead. She battled with her stablemate Chop Chop throughout the stretch, and she was just able to outfinish that one and win by a length. Chop Chop was more than 13 lengths clear of the rest. And then Chop Chop came back, and she disappointed in her next third start, and then they ran her on turf, and she finished a close third as the beaten favorite. So the Alys Look is one. She's got some running style versatility. Her speed figures are rising right now, and she should work out a good trip under Luis Saez, who got to know her last time out. Finally, number 5, Hoosier Philly. This one is a daughter of Into Mischief for trainer Tom Amos. Edgar Morales is her regular rider, and he will be back aboard here. Paid $510,000 for this one. They thought she was going to be good, and she was good right off the bat. 5.5 furlong debut at Churchill Downs on a fast track. Stalked the pace, won up fairly easily by a bit less than 2 lengths. They stretched her out. She caught a wet track in the Rags to Riches Stakes. She stalked, and she just dominated that one. She won by more than 7. The Goldenrod Stakes, she just toyed with her rivals there. She stalked the pace. She pulled clear. She won by 5. She was in hand. Very easy win. She dominated Pretty Mischievous. And then Pretty Mischievous turned the tables on her last time out in the Rachel Alexandra Stakes. As I mentioned, that race, there was no pace on at all that day. Hoosier Philly didn't have a good start, didn't have the best trip, and just everything kind of went wrong. And she ended up finishing a well-beaten third. So she's definitely going to have to improve. She has a bullet workout for this on March 16th. And I would expect that she's probably going to run a better race. So it looks like the favorites should be the ones in here. Pretty Mischievous, obviously. But I got to pick Hoosier Philly again. I picked her last time in the Rachel Alexandra. Everything went wrong. That happens sometimes, and I'm just going to give her another chance. Now, there's a chance that she was better as a 2-year-old. That's certainly a possibility. But she's training like she means business for this spot. And I just want to see what she can do if she gets a clean start and the pace is a little bit more honest in here, and she sets a nice, comfortable outside stalking trip. She runs back to her Goldenrod, in which she completely toyed with Pretty Mischievous and dominated that one. She's going to win this race. But if she just kind of runs the same race she did last time, she's not going to be close to the top 2 in here. But Hoosier Philly is going to be my top choice in the Fairgrounds Oaks. I think she's going to rebound, and she's going to win this race just like she did in the Goldenrod. My second choice will be Pretty Mischievous, and then the Alys Look will be my third choice. So I'll make a win wager on number 5, Hoosier Philly, and we'll play a trifecta key. We're going to key Hoosier Philly on top of number 3, Pretty Mischievous, and number 5, the Alys Look. So don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment if you like this content, and stay tuned to my YouTube channel this week. Lots of Derby and Oak prep races, and then next week and then the week after as well, as we get really serious on the road to the Derby now, as we're wrapping up the Derby and Oaks points race series as we get closer to the first Friday in May and the first Saturday in May. And till I see you next time, good luck at the races.